Hey, welcome back to another episode of Mind the Mic. I'm your host Shubz with a very special guest today. We got one of New Zealand's OG TikTokers. Started on Musically. Um, what you got? Like 500 plus K followers, there, sis? Something like that.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, Morgan Monrad. Anyway, shout out to the sis Morgan. Welcome in the building. How you feeling, sis?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, can't complain. I've been a bit sick, but like just a bit chesty in there. But I'm getting over it. So yeah, looks like I'm in bloody friggin' I don't know Scandinavia somewhere, but I'm actually
Yeah,
in Australia.
what is this? It's
Uh,
summer right now. What's happening?
oh yeah, I don't know. I just felt like I was like looking at I was like do I just wear my hair out today? And then I was like wear it in. So I just thought I would just put this on and got the aircon on anyway. So yeah, probably not good for the planet, but anyway.
Fair enough. I don't have aircon in my room. It gets so hot
Oh,
because the sun comes in the afternoon and
straight
it's
in.
like it's boiling.
Oh, true.
It's not
No, no
fun.
good, my sis. No good. Hey, do you want to take us back to like how this whole social media journey started for you, and or even actually before that, let's go back to young Morgan, like where you're from and all of that good stuff.
Well, I'm from Wellington, New Zealand. Grew up there. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, just Wellington all the life until now, until
Until
recently.
about 6 months ago, and then I moved to Auckland.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How are you enjoying that transition?
I love it. I love living up here. I was not happy in Wellington, like creatively, and moving
Mhm.
up here is so much better, so much like more opportunities. It's
Oh, okay, yeah,
fantastic.
yeah.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
well, that's awesome. So Wellington, like, but what's some positives about your upbringing and like what did you enjoy about growing up in Wellington though?
Uh, um,
Nothing. No, jokes.
no, no, no,
No.
no. All of my family's in Wellington, so it's really great. And every time I go
Mm.
down there, like I have a lot of people there. It's just for me and what I do for work. It's not great, but it's a beautiful city. It's really nice. Like there's a lot of things to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me personally, it's not really my vibe.
Yeah. No, mean. As I said in the little intro, which I'm trash at, but we'll get better, eh? Like we'll get better at those. How did the whole journey start on social media, or well, we can start at the beginning, or even just how it all blew up for you, or what kind of tell us about all that, sis.
It's very chaotic, but I will start like kind of at the beginning. I've been on social media like pretty much for years. Like I had Instagram when I was like 12 or something
Oh,
ridiculous like
true.
that.
Fuck yeah,
I
wow.
downloaded Musically, which is now TikTok, when I was 15. So it was in 2015, which is like maybe a year after it started. And I saw someone post about it and I was like, I'll go download this app. And then my cousin at the time was like, "Hey, you should film some videos. Like you can dance, like film videos." And so I
Mm-hmm.
did. And I think it was January of 2016. One of my videos blew up. It's really, really tragic. It's probably the first video. If you scroll down on my account, it still comes up.
Oh, it's still there.
It's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
some weird combination of gymnastics and dance, but it got like
Is it
140,000 likes or something like that.
is that the one in your lounge room or whatever that you're doing? Like, is that one or? Yeah. And you
Yeah,
do.
there's a few like that, but it
Oh
is
yeah.
like I don't even
And
know
you're
at this
doing.
point.
It was like some. Yeah, I was wondering what kind of moves those were. So it was like a special combination of gymnastics and Morgan Monrad.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like 16-year-old me. No, I think it was like 15-year-old me doing whatever, just filming a random video. And
Yeah,
then
that's good.
suddenly it's going viral,
Oh, that's
which was
awesome.
really fun. And then from then onwards, I just made cute little dance videos, got verified towards the end of 2016 and blew up to like, I think 3 or 400K by the end of that year.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But this was all on, like you said, musically, before.
This, yeah, this was all on Musical.ly. It didn't transition into TikTok till mid 2018, and I had the same amount of followers as I have now then. I had about 500K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what? But I remember like looking into your story a little bit, and you started like a dance. What did you do? A dance like collab thing, or what happened there? What was the
Oh,
go?
yeah. So after my first viral video, there was like, I think 5 months where none of, like, I gained maybe like 2,000 followers from that video. And I was like, I love doing
Oh,
this.
okay,
I
yeah,
was like,
yeah, yeah.
I was like, I want to gain more followers. Like, I want more viral videos. So I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I want to create a group account. So I created a group account called Flexi Muses, and
Yes.
I contacted people who had like a decent amount of followers, and I was like, hey, I want to join my group account. And I think it was like the first sort of group account of its like nature at the time, and it was basically just like people who dance or do gymnastics, like those sort of videos. Some of the girls had like maybe 200 to 300,000 followers at the time. I had like 2,000. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to set this up and I'm going to run it all. And so
Yeah.
basically, just everybody would have their like day of the week where they posted a video on that account.
Oh, okay. So you just gave everyone the login, and then but you set it all up and that. And did you set
Yeah,
the did you set the scheduling up, like who would go on what day, or like all of that kind of stuff as well?
I think I asked everybody what days they would prefer, and then I sort of just like assigned everybody a day. But it got to a point a few months later where nobody was posting on their days, and so I'd have to go and remind everybody, and then it fell it
Chase
fell
them up.
apart. It fell apart like maybe after a year or so.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
there, like you said, that was the first of its kind. Like we're all different creators, I guess, collabing, and that's pretty cool. You're
yeah.
OG in the space. Put
That
some
account
respect
actually
on the name.
got that
Hmm?
account actually got verified before my one did. So
Oh, true. That's right.
that one did better before my one. So that one started to go up, and so because of that, my account went up, and then my videos started doing really well, and I started gaining followers and got verified.
So how many followers at its peak on that account, the collab account? How many followers did it gain at
I
its
think
peak?
it got to it's like 250,000
That's pretty dope.
ish.
Where were you at the time, like in comparison?
Um, I'm not entirely sure. I definitely passed it at some point. I just don't know at what point that was because I that account got verified at about 50,000, and it was maybe like a month before my one did at 30,000. So that's like roughly somewhere in 2016. That's where they were at, and then my one shot past it eventually.
Oh, there you go. Oh, that's interesting. So what happened to like? Was it just people got busy, or like what happened to that account, or do you still have access to it? What's the go?
I
Or
actually do still have access to it. I just changed the username to be something inconspicuous, and it just has a no profile picture, and the verification got taken away because if you're verified and you change your username, they take it away. So
oh, true. Oh, understandable.
it still has all those followers. It just like it's inactive, but I still have access to it.
Yeah, yeah. So are you the only one with access to it now, or?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. All right. So this is what you said. It's like 20 was 16, 2016 was it?
yeah,
That's a minute
2016.
ago. All right.
Yeah,
Like you like when I say OG, like literally OG in the sort of in the space. So what was the what was your favorite video from that period? Do you have a favorite video of yours that you or maybe of the collab as well that you can think of? Like,
I don't think any of those videos need to ever see the light of day again. I think no one need the account. All those videos are gone. Like I deleted them. My account,
yeah,
you can still scroll down and see all of my original videos.
yeah.
Not some of the 2015 ones. Like they're gone. I don't know why they suddenly just disappeared off my account. But
Oh, true.
everything from 2016 onwards, you can see all of those videos, all of the really bad lip syncs. They're still there. Please don't scroll through my account. You don't want to. You
Oh,
will have many
yeah,
regrets.
I have done a scroll, but I have done a
Every
scroll, but
no one needs to do that. I like they're there, they're memories. I can remember how I started. When people
yeah.
ask me how I have so many followers, I can be like, look, just scroll through my account, you can see. But like, don't judge me.
Nah, no, yeah, you get, but shit, you know, it's all love. I think it's cool to look back at. Like, obviously, I'm new in this podcasting space. It's been a goal of mine to do this for a long time. Even you and I spoke about doing it like over a year ago, I think. But then I've hit you up again recently. Um, but yeah, I look forward to one day looking back and cringing at myself, even just in this, So I can imagine you look back and go, don't really want to watch it, but it's part of the journey,
Yeah.
eh? Part
Yeah, I
of the
go for a
journey.
scroll sometimes just to laugh at myself and go, this is really entertaining. I did that with my YouTube videos as well because
Okay.
I did have a few back in like 2017, 2018. They're on private now, but they're still on my YouTube, so I can
Yeah.
watch them, but nobody else can.
Oh, speaking of like YouTube and like social media, where do people find you? I should where do they find you? Like, what's your at? How does that work? Is it the same everywhere or is it different?
All of my social media accounts are at Morgan Monrad.
At Morgan, just as it is, or not like your
Yeah,
email address different?
just as it is.
Okay, sweet. I'll just make sure. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's right.
yeah, sweet. Yeah, sweet. Well, there you go, fam. Check her out, and let's get her to 500 million followers. Now, does that even exist? Is there
I
anyone?
think I think the most someone has is like maybe like I think 200 million is like the most.
Oh, yeah. Is that like Carby Lane?
Yeah, I think so. Or
And what was
like
that other
somewhere
lane?
100,
There was that other
100, 2
chick.
million.
Yeah, beer. But still, that's crazy, eh? Like, even The Rock, like on Instagram, isn't he like 200 million or 100 and something million? Like on Instagram, that's crazy, eh?
Something crazy.
Ah, that's crazy, man. All right. So you blew up on musically. What was the like New Zealand? Was there a market for it, or like were people like looking for you to like like collab or even endorse you or anything at that time, or was New Zealand a bit behind, or
Nah, social media wasn't like a super big thing, especially in New Zealand. Like we didn't have a market for it at all. It's not the same as it
okay,
is today. There
yeah,
wasn't people even on Musically. Like everybody around me knew I had the app and knew I had a lot of followers, but they didn't actually know what it was.
oh
Um,
okay,
yeah. So, and I think most people around me knew what it was because they heard that I had like heaps of followers, and they're like, "Oh, okay, so she's on this app, but I don't know what it is."
oh wow, that's crazy that like imagine like just imagine if that happened right now, like it would be a whole different story, eh? Like probably that's crazy that yeah, I just trip out. Like, but then that's the progression. Obviously, when you finally get to 500 million followers, yeah, putting people in a bunch yeah, you never know. You might be the first one there, eh? Like, cause
True.
I see you still grinding, still putting out videos, still putting out dances and that. Like, it's good that even though, like it's obviously been years since your huge virality, like with the old app, it's cool to see you still fucking grinding in their space and you know. Now you've moved to Auckland to further that career and connect with other, collab with other creators and that. It's awesome. So you got to what is it? When did the changeover happen to 2018? Was it 2017? Or when was the
2018.
okay? So when that happens, what happens to your account? Like do sort of progress sort of halt or yeah, what happens?
A little bit. It was. I think the beginning was fine, like the transition into TikTok. TikTok actually was a separate app, and they merged together.
Okay, yeah, but you were on the
Um,
Musically side, eh?
I was on Musically, yeah, and so the accounts just like switched over to TikTok when it changed.
Oh yeah, they took the
Um,
name as well, TikTok. Okay.
yeah, they made it TikTok, and then everything sort of transitioned. But obviously, content was a little bit different, and like throughout time, content changes and like evolves.
Yeah.
So it was sort of like that. And my videos were still doing well in 2018 and into 2019. And then I think it was after that point they sort of when it became really popular, like so when TikTok like first started doing so well,
Mm.
that's when my account sort of died off.
Oh, I guess it's like anything. Eh? It's like it's like trying to buy a house in like Malibu Beach or something now, like compared to 100 years ago, it'd be a lot easier. Like if you had the money, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Now you're in a different suburb, not even in there. So yeah, crazy. But what do you think? What do you like? If you look back now, do you think like like there's anything you could have done to change it, or you happy with where you're at with everything, like to
I'm
change
happy
like
with
the trajectory?
yeah, I'm happy with where I'm at and like how things are going. But I think for me personally, the reason my account died off was because I started studying and I was in uni
Oh,
and like I didn't have the time to be making videos. So that's why I personally like my account died down a little bit because I wasn't consistently making videos or anything. And
yeah.
I just sort
So
of was like, I was like, this doesn't matter anymore. And then after I finished that, I was like, I actually really love social media and I want to do it again. And so it's sort of building back up from the bottom, but still having those followers. It's a
yeah,
lot harder to revive a dead account than it is to start fresh.
yeah. But at least you're trying. At least you're trying, sis. Like, and at least you're consistent with it. I think that's a good thing. Like, yeah, you're right. Like, it would be hard to like wake up a dormant account, but Hey, at least you're out there still putting out content, like all over the place, and YouTube. There's shorts every day, and weekly videos as well. Go check her out on YouTube, fam. Um, well, I think regardless, even though it might be hard, like sometimes when it's hard, it's the best thing to just to run the ball. You know what I mean? When all the cards are against you, because when you get through and you break through that wall, you'll appreciate it more. And I believe in you, sis. I believe in you for sure. Reckon you'll crack it. So, the studying. What did you study? What did you study while you were having your little sabbatical from social media?
Funnily enough, I studied dance, so
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that's interesting. That yeah. So, yeah. So what was that like? Like, was it at uni or something? How does that work?
It's tertiary education, but it wasn't technically at a university. So
Oh
I still
okay.
went. I still went. I did 3 years, got my degree. It was full-time dance training.
Oh
Very, very intense, but yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So you can teach it and all of that stuff. Is that what like
Yeah,
yeah
anyone technically can teach dance. Like if you have dance training, you could teach dance.
yeah.
But
I thought
it
that
does
too.
help. It does
Yeah.
help saying that like I have my degree in dance and being like, yeah, I have teaching experience and stuff, and like I've learned how to
Hmm.
do that more through
Yeah.
doing full-time study.
Yeah. Have you taught like have you actually run classes and all of that stuff or nah?
Yeah, I've taught a few classes, not that many in comparison to a lot of other dancers. Like I do enjoy teaching and I enjoy choreography, but I haven't done a whole lot of it because I'm more focused on social media.
Hmm. Oh, okay. But this obviously being in from New Zealand too, like, and with all the great dancers that have come out of New Zealand, there's a lot of probably a lot of opportunity compared to a lot of other places around the world, right? Is there? Is that true or like
Not
for the?
necessarily. We have a big sort of obviously hip hop industry, but
Oh, okay.
if you do anything other than that, which I don't do hip hop, I do all the other
Oh,
styles.
my bad,
It,
my bad.
it's
Okay.
not a it's not a big industry, which is why I sort of like am focused on social media and doing dance on social media because they go together. And I think that provides more opportunities for me in the dance industry to have that connection rather than just trying to go out and like go to other countries or try to get a dance contract. It's really, really difficult if you're from New Zealand to do that because we don't have
Oh.
anything here. But and then going overseas, you have to like compete with everybody else from other countries, which is so difficult.
Hmm. Oh yeah, that makes sense. My bad. Yeah, I wasn't thinking about we have big people, but it's in the hip hop industry, and that's not really
Yeah.
your vibe. Oh yeah, I mean, oh crazy. Well, hopefully anybody is listening to this, sign her up. And, what kind of? Would you be keen on like? Are you after like a dance contract or just sort of whatever comes?
I'm not
Like
currently after a dance contract because then that would obviously distract me from social media, and I really, really love what I do.
yeah,
Especially now, like this year already has been amazing, and I'm sort of like I wouldn't want to do that sort of thing. I definitely want to dance. I love dancing. There was a reason I went into full-time training,
yeah,
but I wouldn't want necessarily a dance contract.
solid. Well, I wanted to get into this year, so but before that, is there any like other maybe whether it's did you have like brand deals or anything what like that happened before this year obviously like from your old stuff? I remember you saying that it was sort of behind the times when it came to musically, but as time progressed, did people start to understand the space and then start maybe asking you to advertise their products or anything like that? Did you?
Way back when I started, no, not really, especially in New Zealand. I think it was like maybe like promoting like gaming apps was a thing.
Oh, true.
I think I I think I did a few of those videos at one
Oh, I've
point in
seen
like
some of those.
20
Like
and like
not yours particularly.
2017.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was a big thing. But in terms of actual brand deals,
Hmm.
no. I think that was more of a YouTube thing rather than like a musically TikTok thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, there wasn't like a way to earn a whole lot of income
yeah,
from doing social media then. There obviously is now, as everybody knows, like it's a
yeah,
huge industry, so many brands, like yeah.
yeah. So like that has that changed for you now? Like or like have you had a few?
um for me personally, like I'm building my brand back up,
Yeah,
so I don't people seem to think that I make a whole bunch of money, and i
yeah.
i didn't get a single brand deal last year, not one.
Oh, true.
So I've done a lot of PR work. Like it's more that I haven't been paid to do things, but I have worked with companies. I did a
Yeah, but
couple in like 2022, but there was not a single one last year, which was really interesting.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm sure. Well, I guess we can get into this year then, eh? Or you're just fresh off of coming a bit of a trip to the TikTok Live Festival over there. What is it? Miami.
Yeah,
How was all of
the
that?
TikTok one.
And how did that come about?
That was insane. That it's like so it was the TikTok Live Fest Awards. It
Mm,
was for their live streamers. So as
mm-hmm.
well as doing content, I live stream pretty much every single night. I'm part of
Yes.
the TikTok Live Creator Program,
Yep.
which is I
Me too,
know
by the
that
way.
every yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so how that works is well, how it works in Australia and New Zealand is like TikTok contacts you and they're like, "Hey, I want to be in our live creator program." You get a live manager.
Yep.
Super cool. There's so many people. There's so many people in that program. Um, and then I think it was an email from one of the other live managers, like the week before the actual event happened, being like, "Come to Miami." And I went, "This looks like a spam email." And I told her when I was there, I went, "Really, this looks like a spam email. What were you
Oi,
thinking?"
don't they? Don't you reckon just in general they do? Like, because how did they first contact you via your TikTok account or Instagram?
Through my email.
Like the first time ever, like the first time ever, they
Yeah.
contacted me from Instagram, and then they probably did on TikTok, but I don't read those messages. And then I got a message, and I was like, "Is this one of those Nigerian scammer ones?" And then they were like, she sent a voice message. She's like, "No, it's not. I'm for real." I was like, "Oh," but not to go to the like live fest, just to be part of the program. I was like, "What is this?"
Which live manager was this?
Fuck, what is my Tali? You know Tali?
No, I don't actually.
Oh, shout out to Tali. Yeah, Tali. I've been with Tali like for it's been like a year now, I think. Yeah,
Yeah,
been
I
like a year
think
now.
I've only been in the live program since like maybe like October last year, something like
Oh
that.
yeah,
It
me.
was because a couple of my friends were in the program and they mentioned me, and then I got an email about it, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I love like I go live every night, why not?
Yeah, yeah, hard.
Anyway, so I got an email from TikTok from Carolee, who's one of the live managers,
Yeah.
being like, my live manager is Arizona, and she's like, Arizona's away at the moment, but here's this like opportunity. I
Oh
read
yeah,
through the
yeah,
email
yes, those ones.
and
Yeah.
I went, oh, this is real. And I freaked out. I went, my flatmates were standing like somewhere outside my room, and I went out and I was like, TikTok invited me to Miami. What? Like that was actually insane. Like, and then within half an hour, I had registered. I had called my mom and been like, I need to apply for an ESTA to go over to
Yeah.
America. Like, I had everything sorted, and I was like, looks like I'm going to Miami next week, which was
Let's go.
absolutely insane. With 1 week's notice, I went over to America, went to Miami, absolutely crazy.
No, good on you. You know what it is, too, sis? I reckon, like you talked about, like you haven't really, like, because their brand deals weren't really a thing, especially in New Zealand and all of that. I think that's part of it's like, whether you believe in karma or not, it's like you're, all that you've put out into the social media space over the years is sort of, some of that love's coming back to you. You know what I mean? Like that's what I seen it as. When I seen you going, I was like, yeah, that's cool. Like obviously, I remember you. Like I think I seen you on. I was battling you on live before you went, and you were like, yeah, I can't tell you guys where I'm going or something like that. I was like, let's go here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when I seen it and I watched your stories, I was like, fucking good on you, Morgs. That's awesome. And yeah, I don't know if you believe in karma or not, but that's what I believe. That it's like all that love you put out into the social, all that time, all the effort, or the energy you've put into social media, some of that love starting to come back around, and you know, it's only up from here, so it's only up.
Yeah, on that as well. I know that like because there was people from all around the world at that event. Like it was a lot of the like
Yeah,
people who did the Live Fest campaign. It was who ranked highly, and I know other countries took people over who were like in those rankings. Whereas the Australia and New Zealand creators that were taken over, they do like we all do while we all live stream. Some of us don't like battle. Some of the people that went over don't even really battle or anything. Like they had no idea what that was, and they're like, we just like do well. They just did well on live stream. So the live managers from Australia and New Zealand were just like, we'll just take over these people because we think they'll enjoy the experience and they create other content as well as live streaming.
mm,
Which is why our like who was chosen to go over was chosen because of more like other reasons rather than just live streaming
yeah,
in general.
yeah. I think that's like what happened with like Parker, because I know Parker copped a lot of flack for getting live stream of the year, and people like, oh, obviously.
Yeah.
But then, like, I seen a video when he said, like, I use all the features and all of that kind of stuff. Like, I might not be the highest like diamond count or anything like, or of the year or anything like that. But that's not what it was for. It was literally for the live creator of the year. So, yeah, that makes sense too. But like, I still believe it's just like that's all that energy you're still putting in and believing in you back in yourself and continuing to put up content even through the, you know, probably people will say like, start a new one, Morgan. Like, nah, fuck, run the ball, sister. I reckon it's good. Well, so
Yeah.
did you get to meet anyone that you were like pretty? It was pretty cool to meet them or anything like that while you were over there? Or pretty?
There was like, there's nobody who I like. I don't actually join other people's live streams a whole lot, so
Yeah,
I had
yeah, me
no
neither.
idea any of the people that were there. I had
Yeah.
no idea who the people getting the awards were. I'm really sorry. TikTok. Like, I had no idea, no idea. I did not even know who the Australian creators were. Did not know them. We were all put in a group chat, so like I knew the names
Oh,
of
you didn't
everyone.
know
I
any
had
of
no
them
idea.
like at all?
I had no
Well,
idea. I knew Aya, who was one of the other girls from New Zealand. We know each
yeah.
other. We're friends. We make content together. That was
Well,
the
like, you
only
didn't know
person I
Chaz? You didn't
knew.
know Chaz at all?
No, I didn't know
Oh,
Chaz.
true. Shout
I
out to them
didn't.
also.
So I hadn't met, like, I didn't know who any of these people are, but like every single person I met was really amazing, super nice. Like, I got so many people's like TikToks and stuff. It
Yeah,
was just
awesome.
incredible to like link up
Networking
with all of those
experience.
people. Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
really good
no,
networking experience.
yeah, nah, that's awesome. And so is that the first is that the first event you've ever been to for TikTok, or you've been to other ones?
That's the first TikTok event I've been to.
Yeah. So tell us like what was it like you because you didn't go straight to Miami, right? And obviously you can't really anyway. You gotta That's on the other coast. So what was the journey like the
Oh,
flight?
this is a whole story
Yeah,
of
let's
that.
go.
But okay, so I flew by myself from Auckland to, my connecting flight was through San Francisco on the way there,
Oh
which is
yeah,
really,
San Fran.
really odd. Everybody else went through Houston. I went through San Francisco. Don't know why. Um, so got there. It was super duper easy to go over there, and then that was like, what was it, a 12-hour flight?
Yeah.
And then from San Francisco, I flew to Miami, which was an additional 6 hours. It was all super easy to do. That was fine. Going over there, absolutely fine. It
Okay.
was the way back that was a bit of a mission.
All right. Is that like what happened?
Yeah. Okay. So on the way back, I did have a connecting flight through Houston, as well as all of the other, like, I think half the other creators who were going back to Sydney were also going through Houston. So we had the same first flight. That
Okay.
first flight was delayed by 5 hours. We all had connecting flights with, my layover originally was only supposed to be an hour.
Oh.
And if you know an international airport, you're going from domestic to international, you have an hour, you're never going to make it, let alone make it with a 5 hour delay.
Especially
And
those huge ones.
everybody else as well only had, like, I think it was an hour 20 there one was. So I had a feeling at the beginning of the day I was not making my flight. I went, no way. I didn't know it would be because we had a 5 hour delay. Thank you, United, for that one. So we got into Houston at like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
there, which was like 2 a.m. Miami time as well. So we were all like dead exhausted. I filmed I vlogged the entire thing, and I
Yeah.
keep making jokes about, hey, we all get to like surely we all get to hang out in Houston for the day together. So now everybody blames me for saying that because it ended up happening. We got stuck. We got stuck in Houston for an entire day. Because if you don't know, like, from Houston, there's one flight per day to both New Zealand and Australia.
Oh.
we missed that flight that day, so we had to wait like the very end of the next day because the flights only go, it was like 8
Yeah,
p.m.
yeah,
the flights were, so
yeah,
we
yeah.
were
Once,
actually, we got to our hotels 3 a.m. in Houston because it took a while for us to sort the accommodation out. And like, United, I don't recommend as an airline. I'm really sorry. That was a
Well, I had some
whole
dramas on
mess.
United too. Yeah, before.
This
Just
is
like
just my
connecting flights.
experience.
No, but I had some
I
too. Twice, I think.
everybody, like, I've heard talk about United has talked about them losing luggage and stuff. So I personally only took a carry-on bag with me. That worked out in my favor. You know why? Everybody else wasn't
Oh
allowed their
no!
luggage.
Serious?
When we got to
Wow.
Houston, they weren't allowed their luggage because it had already gone through to the
Yeah,
international flight.
international.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
you're not allowed your luggage.
yeah. Well, they can't even get it
So
back, like, because it's probably yeah, it'd be
no,
hard to get it
so
back
I
anyway.
had all of my stuff. I had everything with me. Everybody else had whatever they carried on.
Oh
Which for some
no.
people was like maybe like a couple of things. I think Chaz had like one little bag with him which had like nothing, like his phone and whatever else. He had nothing.
Oh,
Everybody
ratchet
else,
as well.
like they had barely anything, and I was like, I had all my stuff, like everything.
Yeah.
And then there was also the other half of the creators flew through LA. Their flight
Okay.
also got delayed. They all lost their luggage completely for a few days. They got back to Sydney, their luggage was still in LA. So never
Wow.
fly United is what we should all learn from this.
Oh my god. Well, yeah, I had a similar scenario in I was in Miami as well. But well, in Miami, not Houston, but yeah, I lost luggage as well, and then I had to get on a cruise ship, and it came like I think it was like 1 hour before the cruise left, like before I left to get on the cruise, like it just rocked up, like, and this was 3 days later. That was United as well. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're notorious for losing their luggage.
Yeah, well,
This
there
is
you go.
why I
Eh?
didn't.
Take a
This is why I
carry-on if
didn't
you're only
take.
going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was only 4 days, so I was like, I don't need
Oh,
anything more than a carry-on. I
smart
checked my
Brooks.
bag in on my final flight. I checked my bag in because it was very very overweight for a carry-on. It was like 12 kgs or something like that. So I went because my final flight was actually it was a United, like through United, but it was an Air New Zealand flight, and I went,
Straight
I can
home.
keep my bag on now.
Yeah,
I went Air
yeah,
New Zealand, safe.
straight
Can keep
home.
my
We're going
bag.
home. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Not connecting though. Yeah, I makes it for connecting.
The connecting
Especially
flight.
yeah. Especially 4 days. Like you can unless you're like someone who has to wear like 17 different outfits a day. Like should be fine to take a carry on. Hey.
I mean, most people were like that, and they were all messaging the chat being like, "How are you only taking a carrot? Like, what? Surely you need way more stuff." And I was like, "I planned out all my outfits. Like, we're only there for 4 days. Technically, ended up being
Yes.
5. We're only there for 4 days. I don't need any. I don't need anything. Like,
Yeah.
also because it's although it's winter there, it's still the same temperature as it is here.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
I'm
full.
not taking winter clothes with me. I'm taking summer clothes with me. So I don't
Yeah.
need heaps of stuff. Worked out in my
Well,
favor in the end.
yeah, there you go. Shout out to Brooks, man. You manifested it.
Yeah, I
Day in
know, it
Houston.
totally did though. And also because I was super happy as well when we were in Houston. We went to the mall and I was like, I get to shop. I'm so happy. I've been to America a couple of times. I
Yeah.
love their stores. I was like, as much as it was kind of sucked to like be hanging around, but I also I didn't really get to know everybody until that whole delay. Because I think I'd met everybody, but I didn't actually get to know anybody, like the Australian creators, until that happened and we were all
To
stuck
Houston.
together.
All forced
I
to
got
hang
to
out.
Yeah, we were forced to hang out. So I got to know everybody really well because we were forced to hang out. And I think that was great. I thought that was a
Yeah.
good thing. That was networking. It was great.
Ah,
It
awesome
made a
stuff.
really entertaining vlog as well. Like the vlog, when I was editing that, I was like, this is so chaotic, but so funny.
Yeah. No, I checked it out, and I'll link it. I'll put it in the description too for anybody that's watching the YouTube video. If you're listening audibly and you want to check out the video, go over to YouTube or Rumble. It'll be on the video. Will be up there. Uh, so, what did you get up to in Miami anyway? Because obviously 1 day in Houston, but 3 4 days in Miami. 3 days in Miami, was it 2 days or whatever?
Yeah, I arrived at like I think it was 5 p.m. that night, which was the 1st of February. And we had a dinner at like I didn't get to my hotel room till like after 6, and then we had dinner at 7. So I had
Yeah.
very little time to get ready. I had two
Oh,
hours of
far
sleep
up.
on my flight there. I had 2 hours of sleep. I was running on 2 hours of sleep, and I went, okay, time to go network, time to go meet a bunch of people. I'm not a social person either. I'm so introverted. And I was like, time to go and chat to as many people as I possibly can with
Mm,
like half an hour to get ready and like go to a dinner. So that was the very first night we had dinner, which was just like a buffet dinner. And like we were told we didn't have to be there if we
mm.
wanted to like leave at any point, then we could. And I think I stayed for like the entire time. I was like, I'm living my life. I'm just pretending sleep doesn't exist.
Yeah,
There's no
nah, that's it.
jet lag doesn't exist. But it was great because I got the best sleep that night. I went to sleep at 11, woke up at 8 a.m. I was on that time zone. I was not jet lagged, and it was
This.
great that it worked out there. Unlike some other people who decided they were going to go out that night, every other Australian creator night.
Yeah, they
And
didn't.
then the next day they were exhausted, and I went, "Why would you do that?" Because the live fest was that next day, and I was like, "Why would you not just wait
Oh.
until we're at the event and then you can?" So yeah, the next day got to check out the hotel we were at. Amazing. So TikTok, you did so well.
Yeah, the
Like
TikTok.
there were 500 creators in this hotel. So many live streams going on at the same.
Oh,
Like everyone was live streaming. Everybody was live streaming, and I just went. I just want to enjoy the experience. Like I'll live stream when I get home. I definitely did go
yeah.
live for a little bit, but I was like, no, like I want to like take it all in. And so like I got to
Yeah.
like hang out by the pool, like meet other
Yeah.
people. It was really really good. Like I was in Miami. I was gonna live my life in Miami, but
Yeah.
I like respect the dedication that some of the like overseas people like being live like constantly. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
you understand because it takes a lot of energy and effort. But I'm with you. I would do the same. I'll just soak it up and like fucking enjoy. Yeah, like
yeah, and so that night, the actual live fest event, had no idea what this event was, no idea what was going to happen at the event. I was like, this is cool. We got there, crazy red carpet, which was really
yeah, the
really
red
really
carpet.
cool. Like it was just insane. There were so many like spaces to live stream, so many like things that were there. Um, I don't even know how to explain it all. Like I was I was just
Uh,
taking it all in, but it also just like was unreal.
yeah.
Hard to explain. The actual like live awards were really cool. Did I know what the awards were for? No, I learned when I was there. I was like, oh, it's the people who like placed top 10 in the live fest like campaign. I was
Oh, okay.
like, yeah.
Because I
I,
didn't
I was
like
like, that's cool.
I didn't even understand the life because I haven't really been on TikTok. As you probably know, like I've hardly been on like the last few months, so I didn't even understand it. I was on like a little bit like when it started. I was on and I was like, "You're in this tier or something." I didn't know what the hell it was. Did you
I
understand it
didn't. There's so many campaigns going on at one time that the
all the
live fest
time?
one was. I was not focused on Live Fest. I didn't actually know it was too. That one was really chaotic because there was so many things happening in that. So I went, no, I'm not focusing on this one. I'm going to focus on one of the other ones. But some people did focus on that one, and they made the top 10 in the world, and they got awards for that, which is really really cool.
Yeah,
They
scary.
they got those awards on stage. There was a Megan Trainor performed, which was so
Yeah, I
cool.
seen that too. I thought, hey,
That
yeah,
was
is that, I thought I was like, is that actually her? I was like,
no
that's good.
Megan Trainor and Terry Crews was presenting, which was awesome. Not only that, I was standing at the doors when they opened at the exact right time. So I managed to get front row for that entire thing.
Yeah. I wasn't even
Yeah.
allocated. I wasn't even allocated seating. You just
No, it
fucking
wasn't allocated seating. So I was with one of the Australian live streamers, Aaron, and I went, look, the doors have opened and we had a plan that we wanted to sit front row. We were like, we have to do it. We got on one of the first buses for that reason because we heard if you get there sooner, like it's better, which wasn't the case because
yeah.
everybody sort of was like walking around and like being on the red carpet for ages. And then I just happened to be standing there. I was like, look, we need to go in now. And then one of the ladies
Let's
tried to
go,
direct us
Vox.
around
Yeah.
like she tried to direct us around and Aaron goes, nope, and like swerves, and then we just went and sat in the front row.
That's so dope. Ah, that's dope
Yeah,
ass.
if
And
you ever try to like get somewhere, that is the person to be with. Like
yeah,
I was like, fantastic, front row, great.
let's go, Aaron, brother. Hey,
Yeah, no,
I
that
would have
was
done the
so
same though if
good.
I was if I knew it was an allocated seating. I would have fucking let's go, sis. We'll just go sit there. Hey, and the
Yeah,
fact that you
no,
didn't go out the night before has probably helped too. You know, like
combined team effort. It was great. We managed to sit in front row. I was live. I think I was live streaming at the time as well, and I was just sort of like, oh yeah, okay.
yeah, I mean that makes
Yeah.
sense. Like we made it to the front row. Like we're front row for the awards. There's Terry Crews. There's Megan Trainor, whatnot. That's awesome. But yeah, obviously we didn't know
Yeah.
any of the creators that got awards.
No, no,
Woohoo! Congrats!
I don't think I met any of them either. Like even like during the event, like because we were all in the same hotel, we were all around each other. Like I don't think I
Yeah,
met any of the top 10 people. I
yeah,
could
no,
not tell you who they are. Some of them weren't there either though. Some of them like they filmed a little like video beforehand to be like, thank you for this award
yeah,
because they that for some whatever reason they couldn't be there. But yeah,
yeah. No, I
crazy.
feel you though. I've like had those conversations because a lot of people, especially like supporters would come and be like, "Oh, have you seen such and such's video? Or have you seen this and that?" I'm like, "Bro, I don't really watch anybody's shit. I just do my own thing." You know what I mean? Like, I'll just go live, and now I'm just doing this. Like, I'll go live a bit more. Coming up in the near future, start going live a lot more.
Yeah,
But yeah, I
no.
don't really like. There's different. Like you can, for me, I'm like just I'm not really a consumer of content. Or just gonna make it, eh? So like, I think a
Yeah,
lot of
I
people don't understand it.
definitely I watch other people's content. I just don't watch other people's live streams because my
Mm,
attention span, I can't do it. Like I can be
yeah.
live with other people, but I can't really watch other people's live streams for more than like 30 seconds.
Yeah, to be
So
honest, like unless it's like I'm pretty much the same. Would probably wouldn't even be 30 seconds. I'd say 13 seconds, and that's me. I'm out of there probably. No, yeah. Or like the only time I might catch one is if I open the app and it's there on the FYP, like the first thing. Otherwise, yeah, like
every
or
time I open TikTok, there is someone's live stream on my For You page. Every time, and every time I switch accounts as well, like
oh yeah, switching.
the
Yes.
live stream audio plays, and I'm like, I don't want this.
Have you
I
have
don't
have
like.
you have you had it come up when you're live? Like, have you had that happen before? When you're live and then someone else's audio plays, you're like, what the hell is that?
A couple of times that I think that's happened where there's some weird audio that like starts playing. And
Yeah,
I know sometimes other people when they're watching them, like an audio of another live stream will come up for some weird reason. TikTok has glitches. Obviously, it's like a social media platform. Like an app is going to have
yeah,
glitches, so sometimes that sort of thing does happen.
yeah. Like it's been a couple of times, and I could hear Parker's voice. I'm like,
Okay,
I'm looking around.
yeah,
I'm looking at my other phone, like, what? I'm looking at the computer. I'm like, what's going on here? And then
yeah.
I go into his live, and then the conversation's exactly what I'm hearing. I was like, oh my god, I got to reset. Um, wait, so you're talking about lives? You go live every night, eh? Sis? Every night. What time? What time do you hit your live stream? It's consistent. So what?
9 p.m. New Zealand time.
So that's where people, if they want to catch you live, 9 p.m. If they want to take you to top one, that's where they got to go, 9 p.m.
Yeah,
Eh?
surely. I've never once made the weekly rankings.
Oh, that's
Not once.
crazy to me. But you don't
No.
like, but you do heaps of other things too. So that's why, like, you're not like someone like me. Or like I was just like raising my kids for like a couple of years, and I would just sit there and go live. Like so, at the time, like you're doing heaps of other things. So I just go
Yeah, I
live for
just
like hours and hours a
I
day.
yeah, I don't think I have like the personality to just like be like we must make the rank. Like I can't be like we must make the rankings. Like we need this and this. Like I can't do that. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I enjoy battling, but all the battles that I do, they're usually just like really really chill. They're very much
yeah.
like yeah, everybody like keep double tapping. If we get gifts, like thank you so much. That's amazing. But if we don't, I do like for the like campaigns that we're put in for the like live creator program. I
Those are
do
fun,
try
eh?
to push those ones, but also those ones are done by like how well you did previously, and so like usually I'm put in like a lower group, which is way easier. So I always, although speaking of which, Dream Factory, which is one of the campaigns at the moment, which just
Yeah,
started yesterday, I was put in the top group, and I went, "Why? Who
yeah.
who put me in this one? No,
Oh,
no,
true.
no,
I
no."
took that out last year too. The top one, Dream Factory.
Yeah, I
little
think
plug there.
because the last Dream Factory I ranked, I think it was like fourth or something like that,
Let's
and
go.
then
Oh, that's probably why. Sis.
Live Crunch, which ended the day before, I ranked in like I think it was ninth in the end.
Mm,
And so like I get it. And I actually learned that there's two versions of Dream Factory. There's
yeah,
the version that I'm in, which I'm at the top at of,
yeah,
and then there's another one with three different categories, which Parker is in. And that's how I learned that there's a completely like different
yeah,
one for like
yeah,
bigger people. And so I went, okay, so I'm in the top one of my like version of Dream Factory, but I'm not actually in the top group.
yeah. Well,
So
fucking when I took it when I got number one and Dream Factory, Parker was like six. So yeah, no, shout out to the brother, actual though. But there's a long time ago. I'm a baby now. I'm like you. I'm on the rebuild. Yeah, too busy
yeah,
focusing on podcasts.
he kept coming into my live stream to check his own ranking for Live Crunch.
Oh
He's
yeah,
like, don't, he's like, don't mind me. He was like, I'll just drop a couple
he's
gifts, but I'm just trying to check my own ranking. And I went, okay,
no, he's
you
a
do
good
that.
man on Parks. Yeah,
Yeah.
good man. It's cool seeing like what do you love about social media? Like if someone has to ask you like what are the three things that you love about social media and from your perspective, what
Oh, that's really, really difficult because I love everything about well, not everything about social media. It's a very toxic place sometimes, especially
Yeah, or
TikTok.
can be, yes. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, especially in things like live streaming and rankings and stuff. But I just like the creativity. That's probably one of my favorite things. I get to do what I love, which is dancing, as well as like a bunch of other stuff, and combining all of that, which is really, really fun.
Yeah.
Meeting other creators and getting to hang out with them, especially after moving to Auckland. Like
Mm,
I get to know all the other New Zealand creators. Like we do content days all the time, which is really, really fun. And obviously, like the opportunities that I get, like going to Miami with TikTok, that's an unreal experience. I wouldn't have done that otherwise. Like
yeah.
I could go to Miami. Like I've been to America a couple of times, but never could I
Never
previously
from,
say that I'd been with
yeah,
TikTok. Like TikTok
yeah,
invited me, paid for the entire trip. Like that's
yeah.
insane.
Wait, like, speaking of that, what did they like? Did they pay for the, like? Did they give you like money to eat, or what was the go? Yeah, like, what's the go before that, or did you?
So they did flights and accommodation, and then the food that we got was like sort of like we had dinner the first night, and then there was like a breakfast set up, which was like buffet style breakfast. You could just turn up whenever you wanted.
Yeah.
Um, it was said that all of our food was provided, but there were a couple of days where there weren't like meals set, like especially on our free day, which was the final day that we had. Well, not the final day, because
Okay.
the final day we flew out that evening, but like the one day we had where we were completely free.
Mm.
So we did sort of had to sort out our own food because there was no set lunch or dinner. There was just a breakfast.
Oh,
So
okay. So do you think they could do better there? Like maybe we'd shout out to our managers. Hey, work on that. No, 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 no.
no,
For
no, no,
next
no,
time,
no,
nah.
no,
All good.
because that like obviously, but then they had to give us like a free day so that we could go explore. So not
Yeah,
everyone's going to want to like have a
yeah.
set meal that's there,
Good point.
which is
Good point.
although to be fair, because we didn't have those set meals on a couple of times, I did forget to eat food. So, but
Oh yeah.
that's on me. That's on me, not on TikTok.
Yeah, yeah. Or maybe just a few unis. No, 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 no. Just
Yeah,
few unis
I was
on
like,
time.
yeah, I'm just gonna have to go live stream so that I like that before I left. As soon as I found out, I was live streaming like I think 5 6 hours a day that entire week leading up because I was like, I need money as a backup for like I know I'm not paying for anything, but I do need
Yeah.
something
Or in case you
just
want to go
in
shopping or
case.
whatever. Or in case anything
Yeah,
happens.
I was like, I need some money. I also was the only person who took cash over with me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, yes, yes, we can use our debit cards, but you never know if your bank is gonna like freeze your card because you're in a different country.
Yeah,
Like
that's
that
that.
happens more often than not.
Yeah,
And
no,
I
it
went,
does.
I'm gonna take cash because it's easier to use, and you don't get like a 3% surcharge if you use cash, which is
Hmm.
great. So I was, I was the only one who like took. I didn't take that much over. I think it was like maybe like $200, and I was like, that's the like that in case I want to like go shopping or something, and like I don't have to use my card, so it doesn't charge me a ridiculous amount because the exchange rate is terrible at the moment.
Yes.
And like then they put a surcharge on the top, so it actually ends up being more expensive if you do that
Hmm.
way. But because I was using cash, then it ended up being like roughly the same as if you were buying stuff here, but they have cooler things.
Yeah, the cooler things. So what's your so overall? You enjoyed the whole experience. Like, I can't. I'm not really hearing any complaints. It's just a bloody good time, eh?
Yeah, it was a really good. Like I have zero complaints. I wish it was longer.
Yeah.
I especially like everyone's like, what was your like your favorite part? And part of me wants to say that day in Houston was fantastic.
Just say it. Just say it. It's sold
Honestly,
now.
no, okay. The actual Live Fest Awards that was great because
Yeah.
we had the Live Fest Awards. There was an after party as well, which was super cool. And but yeah, that day in Houston also was great. But the whole trip,
Yeah.
I don't think there were any negative points. Oh, except clubbing in Miami, the entry fee is $100 for
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
clubs.
Yeah.
So
Is it
that
that
was
much
my
now? Fuck.
only
I,
yeah, that was
uh,
my only point to make.
yeah.
That obviously doesn't have anything to do with the trip. That was just me
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
seeing, then me being like, not for me.
Yeah.
No,
Not for me. Never mind.
I was like,
I'm
no,
just.
I'll just stick because we actually at the after party we had the TikTok had an open bar, so
Yeah.
yeah, that was great. I was like, I'll just stick with that. Like we got an after party, like that was good enough for me.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
gonna ask that too, but there you go. Um, before we go, is there any other things you want to speak on at all?
I don't think so actually. I think I've like covered all of my like topics that I usually like talk about with people.
Yeah, nah, dope, sis. Is there any what are the top say three maybe creators or dancers or something that you would love to do a video, or maybe even singers that you would like to dance for or something? I don't know. Is there any? Do you have any of those? Do you have a top three or even one if you don't, or you got none?
I'm really bad at picking favorites.
Yeah. Okay.
Really bad at picking favorites. But I will just say, I really wish I was seeing Taylor Swift, but I did not succeed in getting tickets. And I think if I had a dream dance goal, it would
Yeah.
be to be a backup dancer for Taylor Swift.
Oh, true. Did Taylor Swift do it?
Yeah.
Oh, she didn't even do a New Zealand show, eh?
No, no, she's
That
not
should
coming
there
here.
should be an investigation into
There
that.
definitely is. There's definitely like all of the like venues have been like, here's why she didn't come over, and there's different theories. And I think the main one was like our stadiums and stuff, because they're in residential areas, you can only have a certain amount of shows per year. So
Oh.
I think the main one, I think because Eden Park released a thing being like, because we're having both Pink and Coldplay, those took up all of the shows this year. So
Oh, I see.
yeah.
Weird. Change that rule, council, whoever bloody
Yeah,
made
I
that
mean, yeah,
rule.
if you're gonna live next to a stadium, then like maybe you should
Literally.
accept the fact that there's gonna be concert. Like obviously not ridiculous amounts of
Li-
concerts,
But
but
literally, like you gotta expect that it's gonna be loud. Like
yeah,
if you, it's part of it, eh? 'Cause- and like, well, maybe like, surely they could have done like it made an exemption for like, cause like she's like a, like a cult hero. Fucking, she's like a god and to a lot of people.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the amount of people who had to go over to Australia and they didn't have enough tickets, obviously, for everybody because like I tried in the pre-sale and the general sale, I did not succeed.
Yeah. I didn't
So
realize, like, I knew she was big, but I didn't realize how big until, like, until I had, like, family members all crying that they got tickets or didn't get tickets. And, like, I was, like, looking on, like, stories and stuff. Like, I was like, what the hell's going on here? I was like, I knew Taylor Swift was, like, big. I don't know if she was that big. I was like, holy,
yeah, no, that's like the everybody like from everywhere wants to go to like her concerts. Obviously, like she's probably one of the biggest artists at the moment. I've wanted
yeah.
to go. I've wanted to go for years. I've been a big like Taylor Swift fan for years. My dad went to her concert when I was like I think I was like 11 or something. He went to like the
I
Speak
was,
Now concert, and he didn't take me with him.
oh,
And then
what? Dad.
I was like, well then. And then also me and my mum were supposed to go in 2018 for her last like tour, which was a Reputation like tour. But
Yeah.
I had an exam on that day, and so we didn't end up going because we did get tickets, and then we didn't end up going. So I'm like, no, because then this time around, when everybody's wanting tickets, didn't manage to get any.
Oh well, next time we have to get one, or maybe TikTok can fly you out to a concert overseas. Hey, come on,
Ah,
TikTok.
TikTok, your Sydney office is there. Like, surely you like managed to like get tickets. Like, surely my flatmate's actually going over though, which is like even worse because like
Oh,
she's like
when are
she's
those? When are
going
the
for
Sydney
a
ones? Are
week
they? When are those on?
this
Are they on?
weekend.
Oh, oof.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
gotta go drop my flatmate off tomorrow afternoon for her flight to sit. She's never been overseas before, and
Oh, true.
I'm like have fun going, and I don't get to
Have
go.
fun. No, no, no,
Like,
no. Oh, what? You're
okay
sick?
then.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to take your ticket, love? No, 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 no. Shout out to your flatmate too. Then, well, thank you. I just want to thank you for your time and for accepting this little noob podcaster. To come and share some of your story. If people want you to come back and like if there are enough people want you to come back and I don't know, we can shoot some shit about whatever. But would you be willing?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, 100.
always.
Well, yeah, thank you again for sharing your story, your journey. Listening to a lot of your stuff and just listening to your journey, I can take a lot from, and I hope a lot of other people do. Maybe other people can relate to it too, whether it's just being a young person and like blowing up on social media, or even the organizing of the crew that you did and trying to get them all to post on their days. Like I can relate to a lot of that stuff too, and whether it's my real life and also my TikTok sort of ventures, I've had sort of similar things happen as well. So thank you so much for your time. Time's the most precious commodity we have as human beings. So thank you so much for sharing your time with me and everybody else that listens. And hopefully they listen for a long time to come, because this is going to go up on every audio platform and YouTube, and clip this up hard. So thank you again, sis.